Welcome to All the Mods 10. Over the next 100 days, I will fight to survive, not just the usual dangers, but a world reshaped by endless mods, where every step brings new threats and every night hides deadly secrets. Beyond this world, there are strange dimensions waiting to be explored, realms ruled by powerful beings, rulers I must face if I want to conquer this challenge. To survive, I must master building high-powered machinery, machines that blur the line between magic and technology, my only hopes against the darkness that threatens to consume me. This is my journey to survive the unforgiving nights, to master the strange machines, and to uncover what lies ahead.
This is my 100 days in All the Mods 10.
We begin by finding a large tower.
I want to try to make a jetpack as soon as possible. I know there is a trap in this tower though.
I'm glad I realized that there was a trap here, because this could have been a very bad start.
Let's see. Look at the sea flame. We got a gold pickaxe. All our quest real quick. Definitely need leather to make a backpack. I'm gonna make a crafting on a stick. Let's see, unlocks that. So I have a portable crafting window now. Let's see if there's any way to make string. Probably just have to kill some spiders to get that. Need to probably try to find a village.
I had to be extra careful because this is hardcore. My goals were to make a backpack and find a village, to find infinite ham.
So we definitely need to explore up here more to get... We need to try to find infinite ham. And get some string on the way. Which, I guess I just have to kill spiders. There's literally no village anywhere. Another tower. Might have to post up in the tower for the night. Some rooted boots. Some armor. Surf. Iron. We'll try to research these. Grants the bear the mysterious power of the sheep.
These relics prove to be very powerful throughout the playthrough.
I don't see any villages. Actually, that might be one right there. Put on any armor I can. Oh yeah. Oh, it was the helmet. Give me heart. You keep that then. Honestly, it's better than the copper helmet anyway. Let's go, diamonds. Let's see here. What are these slot hands? Oh, that's another one of these. So bang. Melee attacks by 25%. Throw that straight on. Throw on the gloves. Oh yes sir. This thing gives no fall damage.
This village was useful for all the armor and food for now. It was a good startup to start out with.
Blocking off the chest. Okay, I'll try to research these. Connect these. Let's go. I need to be holding this all the time. Have no fall damage. Okay. Increases the player's damage dealt by 98%, but enters a 5-second cooldown after each attack. Okay, I don't know where these are going exactly. Think I can decraft this into string? Books. Can I decraft this or anything? String. We need a backpack. We're running out of space. In this island. Oh my gosh. Yes, sir. We got a village. Okay. I think these make you go faster. And I think it's a pretty simple design. Okay. Increase the player's running speed by 60.
Finding these boots was a great find because, you know, I could run faster.
Yeah, I could feel the free runners make me run faster. Let's go. We got a waystone. Kind of trap is that?
Waystones allow you to teleport in between them, so it proved to be pretty useful.
Whee! Found another village. See if this has infinity ham. It's got a bucket though. What do we need for lava? Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Freaking magma blocks. Come on, infinite ham. Probably need this redstone for later. I guess I'll grab these. Go. Whoopee cushion. What's this thing? What is this thing? I think whenever I fart, enemies will get knocked back. There's a 25% chance to knock back entities with like 10-second nausea effect when taking damage or crouching frequently. What does that go on? My head? Oh my gosh, I'm farting.
This item allowed to push back enemies whenever I would crouch, proving to be very useful.
Fasting beef. I think this is the same idea as the ham. I think I just have to cook it one time. So now I don't think I need food anymore. Take that back. But I think a ham is better. Don't need that.
And then I found it. Infinite ham.
There's a ham too. Wow. I don't know which one's better though. Meteors right here too. So it has a cooldown. The ham doesn't, I don't think. So let's get this meteor so we can make an ME system. We can get that lava up there. I'll just go grab the lava right now. Dang, there's a giant meteor. I bet this is like one lava bucket up here too. Let's go to this little pool.
Mining this meteor would allow me to make an ME system, which is basically virtual storage for all your items in Minecraft.
I'll need one of these realistically in the future. Throw out some wood. So we can throw out emeralds for now. We won't need those till later. I guess we can mark it on the map. Meteor, even though we can kind of see it. What is this? Oh, that's the waystone. And you go kill some spiders for some string. Spiders. Kind of looking at the map though to see if I can see a spider. Okay, that's actually doing a lot of damage. You really just drop no strings.
In hindsight, running in the
Your eyes
darkness
glow in this. Oh, I just
probably
farted.
wasn't the best idea, but I did need string to get my backpack.
Please. Bruh, didn't drop anything. How are they not dropping anything? Dude. Dude. What is that? A gem? This thing has something on it? Okay, we got it. So we got enough string, we got enough leather. So let's get somewhere safe. Let's just get back to that village over here. And then I'm gonna craft this backpack. And then try to look for probably somewhere where I could set a base. What is that over there? We don't got time, we don't got time. We don't got time to look. I'm actually about to die.
Yep, running at night probably isn't the best idea.
I'll wait the night out in here and get this ham before I freaking die. So I think it's just this thing. You go all the way out. All these places. It's looking like it is. Sucker. Every 20.90 second. God, I can't talk. Every 20.9 seconds regenerates up to 6 edible chunks, each restoring 1 hunger point when consumed. Okay. So that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna rock with the everlasting beef for now. Cause I'm terrified of the outside people.
And then I could finally make a backpack, making storage not really a problem for now.
Okay, so now we got a backpack. Throw this in our back slot. I just threw it on the ground. Where's the back? Back right there. I feel like I think a jetpack goes there though. But we can use that for now. It's fine.
After fiddling around with the backpack mechanic, I decided it was time to try to find home.
Base spot. Now if I click B, it does not work. Let me look at the settings after I get out of here. Alright, let's see here. Need to find... Ooh, look at this place. This looks pretty interesting. Let's go over there. I'm gonna start using the ham to level that up since it's a relic. So I'm pretty sure you can put potions. You can put like a potion effect and pour it on it in the later game, which could be pretty interesting. What is that? Thing looks interesting. There's cobwebs in it. I could have just got cobwebs there. Let's see what's in here. What is this? Crude oil? Looks like a staircase. Hopefully nothing hurts me up here. Chest. Man, I should really be looking for traps though. We got a bed out of it. That's all we need. We don't need that guide. Some candles. Honestly, have enough iron to upgrade my backpack. I'll do that soon. Need to honestly throw a bunch of this stuff in my backpack. Still going to the colorful forest. In a village. Is there any cool things in the village? Oh, this place looks nice. This could be base camp. I mean, this place might be calling my name right here. Set up base right here. What is this? A raccoon? Look at him. Alright, let's do some looting. Is that the raccoon? What in the world? Making funky noises. Dude, what in the world? Okay. Let's see what's in here. Nothing much. The power glove again. Got another waystone. These things are valuable. They make you teleport. Honestly, We do need villagers, and I think we can just shift. Yep, look at him. Little Mason, he's in my inventory. Alright. Let's see. I think it's just the same loot over and over. Novelty drinking hat. Quench your thirst, but also replenishing hunger in an extraordinary way. That could be useful. Like that. So we got a greenhouse. Okay, boy head. This is the agility. Okay, we'll get that. We'll take a few more of you guys. Okay. And we're right on top of the rainbow forest here. Raccoon's still going crazy over there. I think it's just the same kind of loot. So I'm not really getting anything good. So let's go check out the rainbow forest. Probably set up base camp over there in that area.
After figuring out where I should put up base camp, I decided I need to make a little tiny starter house to get myself going.
Make it feel like kind of less Minecrafty. Ars Naval. Naval? Huh. Major League. I'm pretty sure you can make books that make these pop up anywhere. And they're like permanent. So I don't know why I'm breaking them, but... Okay, we might look over here. This might be a good base spot. It's about to turn nighttime again, though. Luscious surroundings. Okay. Check out this brick house here. Wonder what mod this is. Maybe some vampires? Should I go down here? We'll go down here. What's the worst that could happen? This is definitely some sort of dungeon.
A dungeon it was indeed that I was not equipped to fight in.
Okay, yep, we're not doing that yet. We barely have iron gear on. Speaking of that, I guess I'll upgrade. Oh, the torch. If I hold the torch out, it shows out light. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's see what's upstairs. Anything cool in the chest? Not really. I guess I'll take the torches. Nice setup shop in here for now. What's this? Crude oil straight up in the air? Huh. Okay. I think I might build in this house right here. My running boots are making me go really, really fast. It's funny. Let's start with the easy villagers. Now this, I'm pretty sure this will make an unlimited iron farm. It just takes time and it's kind of obnoxious.
One of my main goals was to get iron production going so I could further my progression.
And the best thing about this mod pack is you just click this and it fills it in for you. You have an iron farm. Here we go. And we need to throw a villager in there. I like that. Come back here. Did you throw a waste in right down here? Boom. I'm gonna empty out my backpack. Let's collect all of our quests. See if you got anything cool.
All the items from All the Mods 10 was really taking over my inventory, so I had to organize it in a bunch of chests. More like just throw them in chests.
This is just going to be the starter base, so we're just going to build... Probably going to build over here along the water.
I was still desperate for resources, so I found a chest that I could loot. I remembered from old mod packs that a wild and wing just by itself in the inventory will make leather, so I can make a backpack with it.
I'm for sure putting on this chest piece. Unidentified compressed iron chest plate. Throw that on for sure.
After looting, I figured out that the wooden jetpack wasn't even that hard to make. Finding the lava above ground was a major score for me to make the iron farms even faster.
Iron farm, bang. Bang. Bang.
I then decided it would be best to max out my armor as much as I could since it is hardcore after all.
Heard some. Yep, look at that. There's iron in there. So now, we're going to upgrade our backpack, surrounding it by iron. Look at there. And now it has more slots.
As you can probably tell, I was very satisfied with my backpack upgrade.
Throw on my backpack. Look at there. We got the backpack going on.
I then, thought it'd be a good idea to make a diamond pickaxe. As I was traveling, I stumbled upon a rock with diamonds and deep ores in it for some reason. So as any other Minecrafter would do, I started mining them.
And gold. I think we can upgrade our backpack.
Alright guys, I promise. I'll quit talking about the backpack. Since I thought I could find redstone more easily in the nether due to previous playthroughs, I decided to get obsidian for a nether portal, not yet thinking of the new mobs that could one-shot me in that dimension.
Let's see if I can make a paxel. What all does that take? Bang bang. Craft a paxel. There we go. I'm gonna put the obsidian portal out here. So we need some flint. And any flint. Sand. Let's go. Some gravel. Ultimine all that. Make some.
With the nether ready for entry, I couldn't risk entering before I had a jetpack. So putting a halt to my nether adventures for now, I began making more iron farms because I knew it would be helpful down the road. Since I was pretty desperate for redstone, I began mining for it. And this ulti-mine was very, very useful. After scouring the earth for its minerals, I came back with all my goodies and dropped them off in the chests. Following the next day, I found a snail, and I killed him. Also finding one of those mineral deposits in a giant temple of some sort, which this mineral deposit had nothing really. I was kind of skeptical at first, but I mined out a small portion of the pyramid. And I kept hearing zombie noises. As I got deeper, I found zombies with enchanted diamond armor. Yeah, I'm out of here. On my way out, I seen a giant sculpture. So I dropped off the goodies in my base, and I finally upgraded my backpack. On day 20, I went to the mines and finally got some redstone that I needed. It felt like the rarest ore in the world. Getting the resources, I finally had enough to make the wooden jetpack. This would make travel a little bit faster, but not really. I also looked into the stone jetpack for a minute, but realized it would take way more redstone. So then I crafted up a metallurgic infuser. Decided to slap it down right next to my waystone. I then began looking into making infused alloy. I would need even more redstone, and I would need copper to turn it into infused alloy. I figured out this would probably put a damper on my parade because, again, it needed more redstone, and I barely have any. But I also needed power, so I looked into making a windmill, which it wasn't that expensive. So I threw my copper in and debated on putting redstone in or not. I would also need an enrichment factory to enrich the redstone so I didn't have to use as much. But since that was a ways away, I went ahead and just used some of my redstone, and I also had to power it with redstone. And there we go, our first infused alloy. I was trying to make just enough so I could make my wind turbine. So I made a basic control circuit and voila! I knew these turbines needed to be put down somewhere high, but I didn't really have anywhere to put them right then, so I just put it outside. And of course, I hooked up my metallurgic infuser so I didn't have to use redstone as power anymore. And I found a slot in it that I could put my jetpack in, so I started charging that bad boy up.
Alright, since we got a jetpack now, we're not afraid of the nether anymore. Oh, we got 3! I'm gonna go ahead and go set up these wind generators out here, probably. Just so we can get some more power. Alright, that could have been terrible.
That made me realize it was maybe time for bed.
So I say we upgrade the jetpack a little bit.
And to do this, I would have to run pretty deep inside Mechanism mod before I did anything, and I would need redstone specifically. So I was basically bottlenecked by redstone. So I started dabbling in the steel.
If that uses 10 per, then we should be able to get the enriched iron. Yep. And then we we have to put it back through again to get the enrichment chamber. Then we don't have to use as much coal for this. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should make steel dust, and then we just have to smelt the steel dust, and then we're good.
I then decided to make a little upgrade in the furnace department.
Bang. And we got a gold furnace, and this should work about 20 times faster than this one. Yeah, it's running faster for sure. Let's go.
After realizing I was low on osmium for the mechanism mod, I went back down to the mines and mined a little bit.
10 ore. Alright, we'll head home now. We got enough osmium for what we need to do. I'm pretty sure what we can do is we can make a hammer and we can double it. Like this. Make an ore hammer. We take the osmium, bang, and we get 54. So we can ore double anything. Might as well ore double gold too.
If you're a beginner to all the mods 10, this is a very quick and easy way to double your ores in the early game.
Basic universal pipes. What does that cost? Steel and redstone. Bang. Then we'll hook it up here and then we should have a lot of power. It's working. And this will give us enriched coal. And then we can...
After making the logistical transport pipes, I funneled in my iron farms and my furnaces to one single chest. I then made a configurator so I could adjust the settings on these and pull out of a source and then push into the chest. As you can see, the items are traveling everywhere, which is pretty satisfying to me.
Hopefully there's nothing.
I then went ahead and traveled to the Nether because I was getting pretty impatient. I was ready to be swarmed by mobs, but there was none really around. I couldn't really travel like I wanted to due to the low power of my jetpack, so I just went back to the overworld. I was getting pretty annoyed with all the zombie noises from my iron farm, so I moved it farther away from the base.
Pull, 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 push. After going to the mines and restocking my redstone, I finally was able to upgrade my jetpack to stone. Then to iron. It takes a while to load up. After progressing nicely, I figured it was time to actually find a place to call home. Should probably build this over here. We can flatten this out and make our little home right here. We can have like a balcony over the water. That'd be really nice. After looking into the mechanism a little bit deeper, I figured out I could make free runners, which negate all fall damage. You can even make diamond ones that equate to diamond armor. Going to the Nether once again, and I had no success trying to find any redstone blocks. I then realized I was once again getting too many items, so I had to expand my storage a little bit. After that, it was probably about time to start exploring again to find some good loot. There's a blimp up in the sky? We're so close. No way, it's literally just a blimp. The blimp. It's a blimp. After doing some exploring, I decided it was time to go back to the mines and find some more redstone. I found this weird nether structure that had redstone and spawners. This guy looks like he can one-shot me. And also finding an ore that explodes whenever you break it. After finding those armored mobs, I figured it was time to upgrade my armor. I then started to gather resources because it was time to make my main base. Beginning terraforming so I could easily build a structure on a flat surface. look at that beautiful sunrise. And while I was transporting my loot, this happened. Dude. Oh my goodness. That made me realize I needed a wall on my house, so I started building out of deep slate bricks. I figured what better place to put my wind turbines than right beside my house. Throwing some doors on the home, I found a door that emitted light called luminous glass. Then, had to set up an enchantment table. I began starting the quest line of Applied Energistics to make an ME system so I could have online storage. There we go. We got the charger. It's charging time. I'll just set it up here for now. Run the cord over to it. Everything out here taking redstone. And one more. There we go, we got our inscriber. This was more of a tedious process. Using the charger, I would have to charge up Certus quartz crystals and then combine them with redstone and quartz and water to make Fluix dust. Using the inscriber as I progressed, I would definitely need more than one. Its main task was to change things like gold, diamond, and silicon into molds, so I could then make 1K and 4K storage cells. It's like electrocuting it. Huh. Okay. There we go. I then had to find meteorites somehow. The only way to do this was to take a normal compass and charge it in a charger to give a meteorite compass. Upon finding the meteor, I needed the budding Certus quartz so it could grow Certus quartz crystals. Then, needing more Certus quartz, I threw it on the ground so it could grow. We need to crush these Certus quartz crystals into Certus quartz dust. Alright, so we're probably going to upgrade our iron jetpack, so we have to quit recharging it. It's kind of driving me insane. And in order to do that, we need to go get the iron farm that I forgot at the old base. I'll set these up. Throw them into this double chest. Realizing I didn't have enough gold to upgrade my jetpack, I started working on a precision sawmill, which when cutting down wood, it gives a chance for sawdust, which is used to make a cardboard box, which I can then use to get a flawless Certus quartz crystal. Precision sawmill. Following that, I then made a crusher so I could crush down the crystals. Throw the crusher over here. Let me crush all of these Certus quartz crystals. There we go, we got 4 sawdust. Now we make a cardboard box. And let's fly over to that meteor. Grab the flawless. We just put this, right click it. Okay, now we can mine it. And this will be flawless. I think we right click it. And do we get the box back? Yeah, we do. So flawless is the best. These downgrade flawed, chipped, it eventually turns into the block after. And this will stay forever like flawless. I also automated the charged quartz crystal system. Yep, there we go. I then needed to make purple Fluix crystals. You get these by throwing charged Certus quartz crystals, redstone, and quartz all into water all at the same time. Come on. Oh my goodness, that was cool. Let's go. Unnatural. After crafting the growth accelerator, I would then place it next to the flawless Certus quartz, making the growth of these crystals much faster. You should be pumping it so it accelerates faster. Yep, they're growing pretty fast. We need to mine a bunch of these to get the AE system. After crushing up the crystals and then heating them up in the furnace, we had silicon, which we would use on a silicon press to make the pad. Combining gold with the logic press, we then had a logic circuit board, and we would just need to combine the pad and logic circuit boards in with redstone, and we'd be able to make an actual circuit. After doing this process a few times, I could finally make the crafting terminal. I then had to use some of my precious diamonds to make an engineering circuit. Also, in the middle of this, I realized I could put an augment in to make my furnace at power. Then finally, after a few more bits of crafting, I had an ME drive where I could store all of my data of my items. Throwing down the weird energy acceptor thing, I quickly threw down all my pipes and everything so I could have online storage. I began using all my resources to try to make this online storage thing work. This was 100% one of the more tedious processes. With the power of editing, I'll just make a few more storage cells. And bang, I got 3 storage cells. I also needed to make some more inscribers so I could use each press individually. Trying to automate things in this mod pack is kind of annoying, but with inscribers it was pretty easy. I just needed a logistical pipe on the very top and an output source. After that, I was trying to put in each press into its each inscriber, but I was kind of having a little bit of trouble. Not realizing there was silicon pads in here, I couldn't put it in. So I threw one in of each to make this stuff go by way faster. It was also getting a little bit packed over here, so I decided to move the Certus quartz crystals over a little bit. Then production was getting kind of slow, so I decided to upgrade the furnace to an emerald furnace. We of course needed that diamond furnace and then upgraded it onto the emerald furnace afterwards. I placed the furnace here so I could funnel everything into this one inscriber later on. Also, look at all them 4K and 1K ME item storage cells. After I crafted a few more things, I figured it was time to put back down the nether portal. Realizing I needed blackstone to make a charge pad so I could easily charge my jetpack and boots, I had to go grab some blackstone. The charge pad wasn't too expensive, just requiring these weird energy cell things and some steel. And then look at that, you put it down, you just stand on it and it charges your stuff. After getting on my feet and getting everything rolling, it was time to make some quality of life improvements, and by that I mean automating things. And there's a mod called Modular Routers, and it literally can mine stuff, send items to storages and everything just without any sort of wires. So I made the breaker module. After placing down the modular router, I had a little trouble with the breaker module, not getting it to work right away. I thought it maybe needed to be updated, so I broke the crystals. Then I tried giving it power, only to realize that it doesn't need power. I put an oak drawer so I could have storage for those Certus quartz crystals. Then to fully automate everything, I put a sender module in here and then put it in the modular router, so then it would automatically send them. After finicking around with all the settings, I finally got it to work. I then figured it was about time to upgrade my gear, so I made an enchantment table. Realizing my feet were defenseless, I had to make armored freerunners, which took a bunch of random dusts that I had to smash down with a hammer. After smashing them all down, I then had to combine them into bronze and then smelt it for ingots. Then I could finally craft them and not be bare bone feeded everywhere. I want to get into mystical agriculture, which we can craft pretty much anything with essence after this. Let's see, like wood, dirt, ice, stone. We can make all of these seeds and grow them and craft it into different things. First, we need to make prosperity seeds. Shouldn't be that hard. I think we need a decent little bit of these. So I'll grab a bunch of those. Dang, we ran out of seeds. Okay. It's crazy. We ran out of seeds before we ran out of prosperity shards. So we're gonna need an infusion altar. So we need stone. Throw all that in there. We need to make the red dye. We have plenty of roses. We need one of these. I'm pretty sure 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I want to make this on the next layer, so we're gonna have to expand a little bit. All right, we want these to be 3 blocks tall for sure, but we also want each floor to be a different design. So I'll probably go 1 more layer of this deep slate. Look at the snails in this guy, a little twirly. I really want to try to tame snails or something. I feel like that'd be cool. Get like a rainbow thing of snails. I then began the tedious journey of filling in all these wood planks to make my tower taller. And we're finished. So let's map this out here. So we need harvester pylons. Need harvester pylons, which one? Quartz. Man, look at that sunset. And then look, he actually hurt my eyes. Let's make that harvester pylon. Bang. After placing down the altar, I realized I should probably raise it up one so I could have storage down beneath it. And you have to remember, the whole reason why I'm doing this is to make redstone seeds. I then decided in the 4 sides of the altar, I was going to make one of the harvester pylons harvest a whole area of farmland. Using this pattern, I was going to put growth accelerators into each section, so each crop would grow really, really fast. And then midway through making some growth accelerators, this happened. This made me realize I should probably shut my doors. And now it was time to start growing Infernium seeds. After realizing my harvester pylon was too high, I put it down so it sunk inside the water. And to make this farm fully automatic, I had to wait till I had automodium so I could make a hoe. Because in this mod pack, automodium doesn't break. And then while crafting all these items, I realized I kinda needed a portable crafting unit, so I decided to make a wireless crafting terminal so I could have it in my pocket and not have to constantly run back and forth. Which it wasn't too expensive, just required the same materials that I've already been growing and automating. The bulk of the materials came from the 8 energy cells I needed to make 1 dense energy cell. And then bang, we had a wireless crafting terminal that I could also charge on the charge pad just by standing over it. And then of course in all the mods 10, nothing is that easy. And I had to make a wireless access point to bind the 2 together, which only required a Fluix crystal and some Fluix dust, which wasn't that hard to get. After realizing that I then needed to craft wireless boosters so I could actually use it from range, made things a little bit more complicated. So I got a little annoyed and then started going up to play with the farm a little bit more and adding a chest to it. And then also making a water can, which just acts like bone meal but infinite water. And yes, I sat here and watered my crops for like an hour to grab all the Infernium so I can max out my farm with Infernium seeds. After checking the recipe to find out how to make redstone seeds, I needed 4 tertium, which goes Infernium, Prudentium, and then tertium. But in the middle of my crafts, an Enderman decided to teleport in my base, so I had to piece him up a little bit. And then back to the watering can. I love doing this. So to craft 1 tertium, I needed 16 Infernium. After getting the spoils from my somewhat working farm, I placed 4 tertium and 4 redstone around the altars, with a prosperity seed in the center, needing to be tapped by a wand to make it the redstone seed. There we got redstone seeds. After acquiring my beautiful redstone seed, I immediately planted it and began the watering again. The things my life has come to. Then deciding to spiff up the altar a little bit, I put some deep slate bricks below them. I felt like the base was coming along quite nicely. I then needed to place some growth accelerators on top of my plants. This was to speed up the redstone production. And then, you know, back to the watering. And there it is, we officially started growing redstone. We combine the essence in a 3x3 pattern and get 12 redstone dust. All that was left was then hooking up cables to my growth accelerators so I could produce more Infernium and redstone essence faster. I was trying to figure out the cleanest way to hook up my power, and I assumed that it was right here through the back where it was unnoticeable. Since that was complete, I decided to break all the cobblestone blocks out so I could put in the power. Until I got the automodium hoe, I would have to keep filling this up with iron hose because they kept breaking. And the funny thing was I just kept running out of redstone, so I had to keep watering the crops to make the cables that I needed to hook up the growth accelerators. I then decided it would be a good idea to put oak drawers in the center and then have a modular router get the Infernium and send it to the center, so then I could later on auto craft it. Slowly but surely, I kept making growth accelerators so I could speed up the process of making Infernium. It was then time to start the second layer of the structure and make a wall surrounding my castle. Trying to add depth, I added window slots so I could later put in windows. Do a little building. And what's a second story without a staircase? I got these stairs from chiseling deep stone bricks, as well as the railings I'm using. After putting the finishing touches on the staircase, I got back to grinding out some more Fluix crystals so I can make more growth accelerators. Boom. The farm was nearly complete, and the spoils were amazing. I wouldn't have to mine anymore. Yes, sir. We got the Inferium farm going. We're making tons of it. We'll be able to grow everything here soon. I want to do like 4 Inferium farms. Bang, bang, bang. All the way around. And then we can have this be the centerpiece. I then tried to extend my range on my wireless crafting terminal, but little did I know that the wireless boosters don't really do anything, upping the distance that I can access it by maybe 20 blocks. I then crafted up a bow and then made a nature's compass so I could look for the deep dark so I could go find all the modium. Guess I should probably bring a waystone. After grabbing a waystone, I was ready to head to the deep dark. Approaching where the nature's compass said, I started digging straight down. I made sure to use my umbrella to float straight down. I decided to stop and mine some lapis. Some weird zombie boss with a netherite sword tried to attack me named Poppy. So with some expert maneuvers, I got away from him with my umbrella. Since my jetpack was pretty low, I decided to mine out a little area and put down a waystone. And since my jetpack wasn't the best, I started looking into making a mechanism jetpack, which wasn't too expensive. I was doing this because it had better fuel usage and didn't run out so quickly. This jetpack also requires not RF, but hydrogen, so I had to make a whole nother fuel source. I got a basic chemical tank to charge up my jetpack a little bit with a little bit of hydrogen in it before I started to make the electrolytic separator. The electrolytic separator basically just separated water into oxygen and hydrogen so you could fuel your jetpack. Using a mechanical pump and mechanical pipes, I hooked it up to my electrolytic separator. Then I could finally fuel my new mechanism jetpack and have longer fuel. After finicking around, I finally figured out how to put my jetpack in and refuel it. I then decided it was time to make an upgrade to my sword, so I made an Infernium sword. I needed 2 Infernium ingots and 2 Infernium gemstones, with a diamond sword in the middle. Then, after upgrading my jetpack to an armored jetpack, I was ready to go. Coming back, I had to fight old Poppy here. My bad, his name is Papa Nye Darkrend. Whatever, he was no match for my Infernium sword. I found a deep dark, it had no ancient city. Once I looked around a little bit, I collected some resources and then decided to head back home, only to head in the opposite direction to try to find a new ancient city. While traveling, I found a weird little structure with a friend here, so I decided to rob him. Walking up on the new spot, I decided I was going to dig straight down once again. Once I hit bedrock again, I was kind of lost on what to do. I started digging around in just random spots and using the shapeless vein mine, but it was no luck. And then I found a piece of the deep dark, so I knew I was on the right track. And then I found the old ancient city. And since I didn't bring a waystone, I decided to mark it on the map. To better prepare, I figured it would be a good idea to bring some night vision potions. With my jetpack, these blazes were light work. I was trying to get geared up so I didn't die while fighting the warden. And I knew Frostbite was a very good enchantment to have on a bow. But I was looking for Decrepitude because it does percentage-based damage. I also researched some relics. This one looked pretty promising because it was lifesteal. This relic allowed me to set people on fire if they touched me. After grabbing my potions, I realized I needed to find a way to mine all the modium. And the best way to do this was to make a Supremium Paxel because I already had the Infernium growing. And this was definitely a tedious process because I had to start with an Infernium pickaxe and then go all the way up to Supremium, upgrading each one. And then after a bunch of crafting, I got my Supremium pickaxe, so I can now mine all the modium. Also getting a Supremium bow, but I did not want to go through the entire process of making a Supremium bow all over again.
Venturing back down, I decided to make a little platform with a waystone on it, so I could easily teleport from my base.
I'm scared.
I figured as a first step I should probably get rid of all the shriekers. But as I traveled around a little bit longer, I realized that would take forever. Seeing that the warden was part of the quest line, I figured I might as well try to spawn him and kill him. After spawning him in, I decided to jump on top of this large pillar so I could shoot him with my bow. And about 15 for 50 later, I gave up because he started coming towards me and I still thought he could one-shot me given my armor. I then decided to focus on getting all the modium and finding the template.
Dude, I keep farting and then the warden spawns in.
As you can see, I was having a little bit of difficulty because of my relics. Oh my god, I just found all the modium.
Oh, is this it?
This was the clay that I needed to brush in order to get all the modium template. But I didn't know this at the time. But it could fall and destroy itself if it didn't have a block under it and you interacted with it. But luckily, right next to it, I found another piece of suspicious clay. Then I found a warden that was stuck on a block ever so slightly so I could hit him. And then Sir Warden met his demise by decrepitude. He dropped a blue heart, which can be used to make a heart amulet and increase your max hearts. This would prove to be useful later on. Getting my one piece of Aldemodium, I decided to smash it and ore double it, so I could then put it in the furnace and get 2 out of the 1 ingot that I got. I then made a teleport pad out of it to get to the mining dimension. And placing this in the nether later on would get me to the other, which is where you would find the unobtainium smithing template. Where should I put the teleport pad? Finding a good place to put it by the stairs, I immediately teleported over. And seeing that it was a very flat land, I realized I could set up a mining station here of some sort. And after looking at the questline, I found a Fortune 3 book that I could collect, so I immediately put that on my Supremium pickaxe. Then deciding it was time to switch it up and do a little bit of building, I crafted up some tinted luminous glass which emitted light. I thought it was a good fit because I figured we needed lighter colors in our build since it was more darker.
Day 36. Alright guys, so I kind of wanted to make some heart canisters and then we can have extra health. So I just needed to make a wooden pick and I unlocked all of these rewards. Well, let's see what I got. Just some of the basics. All the Modium site, that would have been nice to have. I guess I'm pretty much completed with the first chapter. Need to kill the Ender Dragon and the Wither, but we've killed the Warden so far.
I then began looking into mystical agriculture augments that I could put on my armor.
So we can make these unattuned augments and then we can have like health boost 4 on our armor. AoE tilling. I probably won't ever use that. Wither resistance. That's a pretty interesting one. I'm pretty sure you can only have 1 per. Unless it's the Awakened Supremium, which we'll get into later. But since it is hardcore, we're trying to get higher health early on. I'm pretty sure you can make flight. That takes 4 nether stars and Supremium essence. And then I'm pretty sure it takes a tinker table.
And in order to make all this, I needed an Aldemodium hoe. And that meant back to the deep dark.
So with this logic, I can take this and then I'll be able to see Aldemodium, right? Confused on how this stuff works. There we go. Okay, I see how it works now. It just shows up blocks of where it's at. I guess I'll just fly around the edges. I have no effect. Yep, I'm probably all out. All right, I'm probably gonna head back now. Bang, bang. Doubled the ore. And we smelt it. And now we have tons of Aldemodium. It's great. And we just need netherite now. Probably need to charge this up though before we go. While that's doing that, I'll make some copper upgrades so I can upgrade my mystical agriculture farm. And then we're going to put a modular router up here, and then it's going to take all this Infernium once the hose quit breaking in this and shoot it over here to the Infernium drawer. And I'm just upgrading. See, it goes to 16k, 131k, and then 1 million. And I mean, we shouldn't need more than 1 million storage space, but we'll see. And there's a creeper right there waiting outside, because I'm pretty sure we can grow netherite with the mystical agriculture. Yeah, we just need 4 netherite ingots. So that's what we're shooting for to make the seed or site. So the netherite potion. Okay, so we do this by using a mortar and pestle, glowstone, redstone, some scrap, mortar. We don't have ender powder. We need to make some bricks. So we need clay. Make this. We need mortar and pestle. There we go. Diamond with the pestle. And then we need what? Ender dust. Can make that with that. Put this in a blasting furnace. There we go. We should be able to make a blast furnace now. Oh, there we go. And then I'll just throw this blast furnace in the corner for now. Then we blast this John up, the nether ore site. We got calcinated netherite ore site powder. Some mundane. Make some of these. We should be chilling. And it's done. So now we got netherite ore site. Hop on the charging pad, get everything ready. To the nether we go. Should just be able to get this. And see through the walls. Yep. So we found one already. Grab that right on up. And we gotta hurry. Because it's only 2 minutes at a time. There's 2 down here. Sir. We see more down there. Look around real quick. Man, this is amazing. Just see this from anywhere. There it is. Some more netherite. Scared of not hitting any lava pockets. And bang. So we're definitely running a little bit low on gold. Can maybe make gold seeds here soon. Yeah, I definitely can. Imperium. How much Infernium do we have? Might not be enough. Let's go out here and see. I swear it's always nighttime whenever I walk outside. Still don't think that will make enough. Still need gold. I'll just run back to the nether and grab some more gold off the walls. Need some gold. Where's all the gold? I guess we could take this spawner. Gotta kill off these little guys first. Okay, let's see here. What's a better way of doing this? Smacking it real quick. Oh, there's 2 of them? Are you serious? Cardboard box. We can... Oh my goodness, he hits hard. Is that all of them? Got this guy up here. Oh my god. Definitely need to sit here and heal for a second. Okay, so I think we should be fine now. Grab these things. Grab the gold. Grab the nether quartz. Here's some more ancient debris. That's great. Okay, it's got me really scared now that he could take out half my health in one hit. It's great. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now we can make... Guess I should grab 2 more. Now we can make the hoe. So we need a smithing table. We'll throw that over here with our blast furnace. Oh man, I forgot we need smithing template. Which is in bastions, which is very, very scary. And then we're gonna go find some smithing templates. So we can have all them audium. This right here though, could possibly be one. It's gotta be one. To find a bastion. Bastion's right around the corner here. Yes, I think it is. Isn't it a bastion? Let's check it out. I feel like there should be mobs here. Here's vibranium. Wait, can I mine that with this? I think I can. I can mine vibranium. Okay. It's a premium pickaxe. That makes sense. So does it go inside the side of this building here?
I finally mustered up the courage to start walking in. Very hesitant to what mobs could be in here.
So here's the bastion area.
This dungeon had a lot of mobs, and I mean a lot.
Alright, so we're gonna grab these gold blocks.
And after fighting off all the mods, I found the netherite smithing template.
We definitely need to take this brush and put it on something. It's supposed to be suspicious something. Don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Is this it?
Yes, sir. The vibranium smithing template. I then was looking around to get some more smithing templates, and then I did this.
Unless... this is definitely some. No, I just broke it. Are you serious?
Yep, I did the same exact thing I did earlier with the Automodium template. After I got home, I decided to research some new relics.
We'll go ahead and research this. The Reflecting Necklace. Experience for every 10 damage accumulated in the internal buffer of the relic from the ability. Do we not have to research it or anything? We can just put this thing on? Does it take up any slots? Alright.
Then it was time to improve my farm with the Allthemodium hoe. With this, I wouldn't have to keep replacing the iron hose. I would just have an infinite hoe with infinite durability.
Diamond hoe. Need the template. We got 2 of them. Then we throw this in here. Bang, bang. Netherite hoe. Allthemodium hoe. So now we can have unlimited Infernium. Should have collected all that, but we don't have power right now. So I do need to upgrade my power situation here. We'll make some biogenerators here soon. So we need these. That, you get biomass. So you get biomass from crushing, putting, you know, any type of food into the crusher. Throw it in the crusher. And then we'll need some farming villagers. So easy villagers will make farmers. It's gonna take a lot of buckets of water.
And this was a little annoying because I had to replace the bucket every single time.
So I think we're gonna add them along this wall over here.
I didn't think this would look the best, but I had to put them somewhere.
Shoot them out the back here, and then with logistical cords, and then make the biogenerators on the ground. And then the biogenerators will generate electric, and then we will be good. So to do this, we need to throw a villager. Then we needed some type of seed. I guess we'll make it carrots. 1, 2, I guess I'll do 5 for now. Just throw it in random ones. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it should grow and fill up the inventory here. We're gonna need more villagers, it looks like.
I then started to place the pipes where I was going to extract my carrots. Grabbing my biofuel, I then had all the resources I needed to make the biogenerator. I dug a hole and then lined it with biogenerators so I could easily put in the biofuel from the crusher.
We also do need a crusher over here.
I made an advanced crusher because I figured it would get backed up if I used any other sort of crusher.
My quest for making this, some biofuel, that's great. We'll throw the crusher back here, only can insert stuff. Auto sort, auto eject, and then this will be making biofuel for everything. We can eventually upgrade this to make this go faster. And this will fuel all these generators. Probably need some upgrades in here, some energy underground from over there.
After configuring everything and making sure the machines work correctly, I finally hooked up my cord to the main power source. I then went on a journey to collect all the villagers I could so I could put them to work in my slave factories.
Oh, this is where they've been hiding out. Let me get all of you guys.
I then decided to add in a little villager, breeder, and incubator so I could have infinite villagers.
Because this guy makes the carrots, these guys eat the carrots, then they have a baby, and then it gets pulled up to the incubator, and then it gets put in the chest whenever they're grown.
I also tried to add in some more farmer villagers so I could have more efficiency with my biofuel.
Let's see. Is it gaining? Yes, it is. It should gain more over time.
I also realized I should switch this out to bread so it'll actually work. Since power was not an issue anymore, it was time to make the Infernium farm at its max potential.
Let's see how many more Infernium seeds we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Finish off the growth accelerator. And make 16 blocks of that. 15. Should be able to put all these down, and a farm should be really fast now. Mr. Snail. We're gonna work on making a modular router. It actually don't cost that much. And then so we're gonna get a sender, which is just this. We'll use our last ender pearl on this. So we throw this here. So I want this to be sent here. Throw it in here. But now we need a puller.
I also seen somewhere that I could put a redstone block under this and not have to tap it with a wand every single time to make a new seed.
I also wanted to look at hostile neural networks, because we can power. This takes a lot of power though, so it would be later on. So we'd need better armor. But we could apparently take simulations of deaths of like bosses and stuff. Like a mimic can get you a crystal heart, which increases your hearts by a lot. Even an ender dragon, wither, and we can make generators to accompany this. So let's run around and see if we can find an enderman. It's a glowing chicken. We gotta check that out after I kill this enderman. Did he drop any? What in the world is this guy doing? Oh man, my thing just killed it. I bet that was really, really rare.
After finally finding an ender pearl, my hunt was over.
Got an ender pearl, let's go. So we got the sender, puller 2. Pull it from this into this.
As you can see, it was now fully automated. The only thing left was to put in some speed and stack upgrades to this modular router, so it wasn't sending just one Infernium at a time. And as you can see, it was going up much quicker in the oak drawer.
Look at that sunset. So pretty. Should we do some building around the base? Make it look a little bit better?
Before I began building, I decided to make an auto crafter for the Insanium, but I realized I would need a puller and a sender, and that required more ender pearls, so this was kind of pointless for now. And after building for a little bit, I realized I got the dimensions off, because on the other side I built one block inwards. So I had to destroy what all I just now built and restart. After doing some building, I finally decided to look into doing the heart canisters so I could have extra health.
So now, you can throw this in here. The heart right here. And we have extra hearts. And then I'm pretty sure you can stack about 10 in these each. We don't have any more of the hearts. But these come from mob drops. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a mob farm. Which I don't know how hard that is. We need to make a bunch of entity conveyors. We'll need a vacuum hopper for sure. The absorption hopper.
I then began constructing my mob farm. My idea was to put these entity conveyors around in an 8x8 area and then push them towards some crushers or something that would kill the mobs.
So this will be our box. And we'll have them converging right here on the iron spikes.
I then made some iron spikes, which weren't too expensive. Just took a lot of iron swords.
The vacuum hopper could be right here. Well, the way we could expand this in the long term could be to left, back, right, all of that.
All that was left was me getting slime so I could make more entity conveyors.
We actually have slime seeds. It's kind of amazing. So I'll throw these to our system here.
I didn't understand why, but I couldn't place down the slime seeds.
Can you only plant these on the second tier of Prudentium soil? Is that the way it works?
After playing around with it for a little bit, I realized it was a light problem.
Okay, I think it's a light problem actually. Yep. So some of these may not be growing because they're not getting light.
And after getting enough slime balls, I finally was able to finish my farm.
Okay, so we'll go 1, 2. And we'll start placing the spawners here when we get ready to.
I then began making a case on top, so the mobs couldn't escape. Before doing that, I figured out I could make a redstone switch that would turn on and off the mob farm at the click of a button. I had to dive into the create mode a little bit.
Vein. Yep, we can. We can vein strip it. Now we need andesite alloy. And can we vein mine? We can't. I feel like there's definitely a way to do that automatically.
I then began making some redstone links, which would be the on and off switch.
And I think what we're gonna do once we get the hearts, we're gonna go farm the warden a little bit with better premium gear so I don't die. And we're gonna make a bunch of those hearts. And once we make the purple hearts, we can put in evokers. We can put the evokers into the neural network stuff. and we can figure out how to make totems of undying just wirelessly by making predictions.
And we are finished. I then placed down the spawners inside the mob spawner, and it seemed to be working pretty effectively. The redstone links were a little bit confusing though. I figured out I needed to put a comparator inside the spawners so that they respond to redstone signals, and then place the links on the back. And then the way they work with signals is you have to have the same items in the slots, and then they will be on the same signal. But I was still having trouble, so I kind of figured it out by maybe using some sources online.
Alright, so I think I figured it out. I need to put them in receiving mode, which is this one, receiving mode 2. Yes, there we go. It is on. And you turn it off, just do this, right? Here we go. Now we need to work on draining this XP. Actually, I think we should make this first, honestly.
I also decided to try out the mob masher. Every kill on the mob was considered a player kill with the mob masher. To make the farm more efficient, I made some soul torches. This would negate the time of day, so it didn't matter if sunlight was coming in to make the spawners not spawn any more mobs. I then hooked up some fluid pipes to a jumbo tank so I could store my XP for later use.
There's our red hearts that we need. Let's go. So let's see if we can craft these now. Into the amulet. So we need wither bones. So we need to make a wither spawner. We can get unlimited wither bones. That's great. We can also eat these. I'm assuming they just give you hearts. Alright, so now that we got the XP farm, set up some sort of item storage, which I don't really know how to do that exactly. Let's make it tap, XP tap, so we can then grab the XP out of it. It should just give us, okay, it's perfect.
I decided to make some stack upgrades in a gold chest so all my stuff could go into it for now. And after researching it a bit more, I figured out I could put wool and sugar. Wool would make the mobs quieter, and the sugar would speed up the tick rate so they spawned faster. While that was running, I decided to make a master infusion crystal so I could get this auto crafter up and running. This would make the crafting process much easier.
So now, put this in here. We do new recipe, this in here. Apply, and then next recipe, throw this in here. Bang, 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 this. Apply. Keep in, input. Next recipe.
And you kind of get the idea. I was going all the way up to Insanium.
Should I make a modular router to pull it here? So a modular router will be put it right here. Puller and a sender. So I'll throw this one down. Puller, so you pull from here. Then you send to here.
Once I had everything set up, my crafter wouldn't work, and it's because I obviously needed some power.
I guess we can just put a block up here for now.
And after playing around with the output settings, it finally got power and made my first Insanium.
Needed to change this to external C, so things like the master infusion crystal will stay in. We need to work on our farms up here so we can make multiple sections of these. Like I planned one there, one there, one there. And then we need to get a power source up here as well.
I then finally made a Paxel, which took a shovel, an axe, and a pickaxe. But it was made out of that indestructible supremium.
The axe. There we go. Now we got the Paxel. Iron axe. Goodbye. And then soon, once we get enough, we're going to replace all this with Insanium. So it can be 100%. It's going to be like 300% output, where it says Infernium output.
Needing to have more lights on the crops, I figured it was time to do some building. Cue the building montage.
Now the roof is halfway finished.
I ran out of glowstone, so I didn't fully finish it, but I made sure to have it all set up because I got a little distracted after this. I was in desperate need of prosperity ore because it was used for seeds and the gems and the ingots, so I figured I would try to automate it with the digital miner.
Let's see if I can make a digital miner. Is that hard to make? Vibranium.
It wasn't too expensive till I realized it needed ender pearls.
Teleportation core. That's 8 ender pearls. Are you serious?
After stressing over the ender pearls, I decided to go ahead and craft up the refined obsidian ingots and the alloys, which required me to infuse obsidian dust with diamonds.
Let's see here. So digital miner takes Robit, refined obsidian ingot. And the way you make this is you put osmium and an osmium compressor. So we need an osmium compressor. Got the osmium compressor. Okay. Throw that up there. We'll throw some osmium in there already. So we take that step out of it. Speed up the process here. Diamond. Throw the diamond in there.
So after crushing some obsidian, I infused the obsidian dust with the diamonds. And then I needed the enriched obsidian to infuse diamond alloys so I could get atomic alloys.
So osmium compressor.
And there we had it, the refined obsidian ingot. And then I threw in some diamond reinforced alloys and got my atomic alloys. Then the last step was to find an enderman and swab him to make him into a spawner.
So I swab. Take a swab. And do a swab an enderman.
In order to make a spawner spawn enderman, you needed a spawn egg and right click it on it. And to do this, I would need to make chicken feed. So then I would feed it to a chicken and then he would give me a spawn egg. I also made a supremium chest piece just because I had the resources. Waiting around for it to turn night to find an enderman, I decided to go to the nether and try to find a wither skeleton, because I needed the wither skeleton bones to increase my hearts. But before that, it was time to finally upgrade my armor to vibranium. And I figured since I had the resources, I might as well just make a netherite seed real quick before I use all my netherite and forget about it. Into the nether we go. And I found a nether fortress maybe 20 seconds into the nether. And then I went in for the swab. And all I needed to craft it was a seed, a bucket of XP, and the swab. And then I had my chicken feed. And then I finally found my victim.
Boom!
Happy birthday, Taco!
New skeleton spawn egg.
Then I just needed an enderman. And finding some weird creatures on the way.
These freaking elephants. Giraffe.
I kept searching throughout the night, but I was unsuccessful. So when morning came back, I decided to put the wither skeleton spawn egg inside the piglin spawner.
We got wither skeletons.
Now, after those accumulated, I could finally make some heart canisters to increase my hearts.
Nice, and we're getting the wither bones.
I was able to make about 4 more heart canisters, and that gave me about 5 extra hearts. And since I had the basics set up, I wanted to finally set down an actual farm for resources. My plan was to set it up like I did the other farms, except just with actual resources this time. And this would mean I probably wouldn't have to go mining for any basic resources anymore. And then after building for a little bit, I realized I made the harvesting pylon off by 1 block. So I had to redo everything. And I threw in my last couple of growth accelerators. Then I went to check and I only had 20 insanium, so I would have to get a little bit more to make some insanium farmland to actually fill in all the spots on the farm. Then I needed to gather all my seeds that I got from all my challenges so I could get ready to plant them. I filled in the farmland that I could so I could put down as many seeds as possible. I hooked up a chest for basic storage for now, and then I dug up a little area to finally hook up the machine. Getting the sudden urge to build, I decided to go collect a bunch of glowstone so I could finish up the farm. And that's the last piece of glowstone. I wanted the color scheme all to match, and the growth accelerators were purple, so I decided to rock with the purple luminous glass. Basically like we did earlier with the windows, but it's purple this time. I kept trying to craft them, but I didn't know that there was a little button right below the crafting thing that lets you switch, so it took me like 10 minutes. Then it was time to line all the glowstone with the purple. And after putting in the last piece, it was actually coming together pretty well. And then I figured it was finally time to make the Aldemodium hoe for the other farm. I then found some uraninite seeds, so I planted them. Man, look at all those riches. And then I finally found them, the old Enderman. Got that high-speed chicken feed. So now I was on the hunt to find a victim. And the little guy was just waiting on me.
High-speed chicken
Happy
feed.
birthday, Taco!
So I switched out the Piglin Brute with the Enderman, so then I could finally have infinite Ender Pearls.
Let's go. We're getting the Ender Pearls back.
And I guess I kind of didn't think it through that much because the Enderman started teleporting everywhere. So I had to make an Enderman inhibitor. And this would basically just stop them from teleporting anywhere and they would be confined to the box. With all the gold seeds, I finally had enough gold to upgrade my jetpack. I did this because I needed nature essence. And to make the nature essence seeds, I needed a cactus. So I needed to travel very fast with the jetpack to go find a desert. Yoink!
And I'm out of here.
And after I got back, I realized I was out of storage space, so I made another cell.
So we need to make nature essence. Nature essence, nature seeds. So we just need sugarcane. How many pumpkins do we have? We have just enough pumpkins. So we honestly just need four of this over here. There we go. Nature seed. There we go. Now we should be able to make our nature seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Bang, got some nature essence.
I came up to the farm to check how the wither bones and ender pearls were coming along. And I made a few more heart canisters, but I ran out of diamonds.
Definitely should have tried to make diamond seeds before that. So now we should have a lot more. We should have like 8 hearts now. And I think I'm gonna go farm the warden some and use this heart amulet. So bang, throw that on there. Yep, now we have a whole nother row of hearts about. We can upgrade that with more green hearts. And the ward drops a blue heart, I know, because I got it from the very beginning. So we can use that to upgrade the hearts and have like 4 rows of hearts, which will make me unkillable. What's next? Okay, we definitely need to make our ME system interdimensional. I think that'll be very cool, very cool. So let's look into the quest line of the ME. Applied Energistics. Where's it at? Am I blind? Yep, applied AE. So we need to look into, we've got the ME controller, check, wireless booster, ME wireless access point. I mean, we don't have that right now, but I'm sure we will. We don't have the quest. I don't know why. I guess I just have to open it whenever we do the quest. We have this. We need a wireless terminal now. So what we got real quick. Honey seeds. Okay, that's pretty good. We can throw that in our system up there at the Inferium Essence. So now I need to make a quantum bridge card. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Making the digital miner because I need more diamonds. How do we make diamond essence? Seed. Yeah, so we just need 4 diamonds and then we can grow diamonds for sure. All right, so let's throw these honey seeds in here, even though we don't really need them. We need some diamonds. We'll make a quick trip to the mining dimension and get the diamond seeds going. Need some diamonds.
After my little mining expedition, I made an ultimate energy cell just to have a buffer in my power, just in case I use too much of it at a time. I then wanted to have the wireless ME connection so I could connect from anywhere. So I made the quantum bridge card, but I didn't know it at the time, but it was the wrong card.
Dense cable, we got 6. Let me get the real dense cable. Here we go. Now we should have that done. Quantum bridge. Got 4 of those. We should be able to make it now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Quantum bridge card. Wireless terminals. So now I can swap these out. Throw this.
And yeah, I actually needed the dimensional card, not the quantum bridge card.
Oh, it was the infinity booster. Oh gosh. I was supposed to be making this. I made the other card, which I'm sure will be helpful in the future. But I guess we'll make this now. So we need 3 wireless boosters. We already have that. Deuterium. Android dust, lead dust. Can we make lead dust? Okay. No, we need netherite. Do we have any netherite essence in here? Sweet too. We just need the wireless cards. There we go. So now I should have infinite range. Yep. Infinite range as long as the chunks are loaded. So that makes life so much easier. Yep, so I can access it from over here now. I could not do that before. It's great.
I then decided to make the rest of the Insanium farmland and fill it in. After my chores, I decided to look into the Deep Learner and Hostile Networks.
Deep Learner. Loot Fabricator. Simulation Chamber.
Basically, the reason for this was I had to find a mob and right-click it and then put it inside the Deep Learner and kill it about 6 times so that I could put it then into the Simulation Chamber. After I got a prediction in there, I could then put it in the Loot Fabricator and pick my loot from any sort of mob. Realizing that would take too much power for what I have right now, I just started making a ton of seeds for all the different types of essences. And then I made the greatest seed of them all, dirt.
I'm gonna work through these seeds and hopefully I get an Enderman. Ender Essence to do this. So all we need is a Solium seed and we need to kill 8, 16, 24, 32 Endermen. Which I don't think this could be that hard. We'll just have to make some soul jars. How hard are soul jars to make? Soul glass. Solium. Soul stone. Got any soul stone? Yes, we do. I think we just have to smelt it. And then it makes what? Soul stone.
So basically what I had to do was smelt this like 3 times and then I would get the soul dust.
So it is making the dust. Soul jar. So is this the correct stuff it needs? I don't think it is.
Okay, so this is correct.
Should be all good. Yeah, there we go.
I was running low on the dust, so I decided to make a trip to the nether to mine some more.
Solium, I'm pretty sure is found in the nether. Soul stone, so I'll go look for that. So probably right here. Yep, there's some.
So I crafted up some ingots. To fill up the jars, I had to make a Solium dagger and then kill stuff with the jars in my inventory so then I could fill them up. I then realized the soul extractor might be an easier way to do this.
Throw this in here. And what, we burn ender pearls? We give it fuel. Let's see if we hook it up to power down here. What happens? Throw it there. Throw them in there. Throw that in there. And it just converts it to souls. Yes, sir. That's exactly what we need. So that'll take a little bit. So I'll be right back whenever we're completed with this. I just now upgraded the minimum spawn delay because the ender pearls was taking a little bit. So let's see how much faster this runs. So it's definitely running faster. All right, and this is the last one here. All we need is some prosperity seeds. Let's head on up. So we should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Prosperity seed. Bang, bang. Ender soul jar. I think it has to be a soul seed here. There we go. There we go. Enderman seeds. There we go. Now we can just throw this in the system so we don't have to farm them anymore, honestly. Need to set up some type of storage for this instead of doing what I'm currently doing. Should have a little bit more insanium so we can make insanium soil and speed up the production. 350% faster. Alright, so now we kind of need to set up a storage for this. I'm thinking we use the corners as the storage. Really don't think we need torches anymore with all the lights. See if anything spawns up here now. So we'll do oak drawers. Oak drawers as our storage. So we'll throw a bunch of drawers in like this. Make one there and over here. There we go. There's our drawers.
I started out trying out some modular routers, but I quickly figured out this was pretty inefficient. And I figured I would stay in the functional storage mod, so I started playing around with the different things that they had. I made up a linking tool And then I made a configuration tool. After messing around with it for a little bit, I figured out I actually needed a storage controller. And this would allow me to select my region that I wanted to pour the items into. So I went around and selecting all the places that I wanted my items to be. So after I figured it out, I threw that bad boy in the corner and redid everything. I needed a way to funnel items in, so I went and made some ultimate logistic transport pipes and used these to pull from the farms. I locked all the drawers with the configuration tool. Then I needed to place one of every item that was going into the chest so the items would be sent out to them. After I had it set up, I had to admire how satisfying it was to watch all my items go to their cells. So to celebrate, I made my last 2 heart canisters I needed. Now I have a whole row of hearts. And I also did a little enchanting on some bows. And I made my beautiful god bow. It had Frostbite 5 and Decrepitude 3, which was the main enchantments. And while I was at it, I upgraded it to Supremium. And it was also time to upgrade my helmet to Allthemodium. And the gold seed! I then decided to craft up some copper upgrades so my oak drawers could hold more. Running out of copper quickly, I decided to make a copper seed so I could actually just grow it. And I went to collect my rewards and got an experience seed as well. As you can see, I just got a little carried away with making all the seeds. So I'll speed through them really fast. Got some wood seeds, earth, deep slate, stone, air, fire. I then moved on to tier 2 and got some nether seeds. I figured the dye one was pretty interesting, so I was going to show that on camera. It took 4 different dyes. Cow seeds from the quest line. Coal seeds, kiwi seeds, and I got some amethyst seeds. Got a little chain reaction on this one, got some mineral seeds, sulfur seeds, silicon seeds. I started running out of space on my farm, so I decided to set up another storage controller and hook up all these drawers to it. I then started to lay out the cables for the next farm and crafted up some Insanium farmland so that it would be 350% faster. And bang, water bucket and harvester. And since I had a surplus of Insanium farmland, I decided to switch out all my Infernium farmland for it on the other farms. And I think I went a little overkill on the growth accelerators. Made only 58. I placed them all down, and basically all I had to do was hook it up to power and get some more seeds. But I can't forget about the logistical transport pipes. So after bopping these people that were knocking on my door, I got back to the grind, making an aluminum seed this time. Moving up to tier 3, I got some iron seeds going, glowstone seeds, skystone seeds, some lead seeds, silver seeds, some creeper seeds from rewards. Then I had to get graphite seeds, which was weird. I put coal in a furnace and got graphite bars out of it. It was getting a little bit more expensive, so I had to make blocks for this one. And I got some brass seeds off of that achievement. Tin seeds. Zinc seeds. Some dark stone seeds. And then I accepted my quest rewards and got some prismarine seeds. I had exactly 4 ingots to make crimson iron seeds. Moving up to Imperium, I got some solium seeds. Uranium seeds. Fluorite seeds. Got some energetic alloy from the quests. Then another chain reaction. Got some HOP graphite seeds. Don't really even know what those are for. Then off that quest, I got some electrum seeds. Some osmium seeds. Then off that quest, I got some breeze seeds, whatever that is. And off that quest, I got some compressed iron seeds. Some period seeds. To make refined glowstone seeds, I needed refined glowstone, and that was osmium inside an osmium compressor. So we'll come back to that. Had some sapphire left over from mining, so I made some sapphire seeds. Same thing for the rubies. And to make some flux seeds, I had to make 4 1x1 blocks of it. Got those. And got some dark steel off of that quest. And then I decided to lower the pipes from earlier because I kept bonking my head on them. I went and grabbed my refined glowstone from earlier and crafted it into blocks. And I had to get some refined obsidian blocks too, so I made them up. So after bopping another visitor, I made the refined glowstone seeds, refined obsidian seeds. I found a more trickier one. It was nickel dust and copper dust to make constanin, is however you say it. I figured I should go ahead and make the hoe though. After smashing up all the junk, I made some constantin dust, however you say it. But then I realized you needed a 1x block of it, so I gave up on it for now. I then found some Enderium that I got from quests that I completed.
Enderium seeds.
I then got a little chain reaction and got some wither skeleton seeds, which would be really good for what I'm trying to do with the heart canisters. The mob seeds are pretty tedious to get, because I have to use the soul extractor and all that stuff.
Go ahead and go plant these. Let's see what else is there. Platinum seeds. Let's go smelt up the platinum. Go platinum. Anything else we need to smelt while we're down here? Iridium. Probably.
Iridium seeds. And platinum seeds.
And we'll have all this essence going.
I was looking into some of the mob seeds, and I decided to make some blaze rod seeds.
Blaze rods. We got plenty of blaze rods. We're down here to the soul extractor. Did it use my bottles? Yes, it did.
After crafting up some soul jars, I threw them into the soul extractor.
And it's going to take a minute.
Forgot we have to lock all these. Configuration tool. Realizing I would probably need more soul jars, I was already putting our essence to use, getting the soul essence.
We just make a thing like that and we throw it in our inventory. There we go. This is nice. This is convenient.
I was also working on making the constant end blocks, however you say it.
I guess we might as well make all of these seeds. Get out of here. Then I also want to make the interdimensional card for this. There we go. There's another jar done. Is there any sort of speed upgrade for this? I'm sure there is, but I don't really know what I would put in here.
After letting the soul jars fill on up, I headed up to make the blaze seed.
1, 2, 3, 4. A soul. Does it use these, or was I just misplacing them earlier? So it does just use them.
I then crafted up the rest of the blocks that I needed to make the 1x blocks.
Hopefully we get a random seed from this one. Here we go. And we didn't get any seeds. Okay. I think that's all the seeds we can make for now. Unless we look into all the others. Obviously we can make all these. Skeleton seeds, rabbit, spider, zombie. Need soul jars. Honestly just gonna make as many as I can.
In the meantime, I tried to set up some sort of automatic soul jar thing, but it didn't really work that well. And after crafting up a few more soul jars, I decided to get to work on the sheep.
Well, we're kind of working from the lower tier or the upper tier and down at this point. Then we'll have every seed known to man be able to produce it if we ever need to craft anything.
I also threw in another soul extractor just to make things go by and started on the zombie flesh. I was running low on some of the items, so I went around killing everything so I could put it in the soul extractor. And I even found some spawners while I was out and about. I got all my soul jars filled for my zombies, so I made up some zombie seeds. It was the same process over and over. I would pop a chicken and then fill up some jars. So I'm just going to show what seeds I got. Skeleton seeds. And I got some redstone alloy seeds off that quest. Sheep seed. Pig seed. Squid seed. This one was a little annoying.
And then we got the chicken seeds. How much insanium do we have?
After checking on the auto crafter, I realized it was out of power, so I had to switch it out with an ultimate energy cube. Then I decided to make another farm plot because I was running out of places to put my seeds down at. Then, after throwing down the last 2 growth accelerators, I was finished. I made sure to throw down my excess seeds in this farm now. With the new farm up, it was kind of taking a toll on my power situation, so I decided to make a buffer of ultimate energy cubes, and I had a visitor knocking at my door. Oh yeah, look at that buffer. The drawers were filling up kind of fast, so I needed to make some copper upgrades so they could store more. I then came back to the auto crafter and decided to make it automatically throw the insanium inside of an oak drawer. It wouldn't work at first, but then I realized I just had inferium inside the internal buffer, so as soon as I took that out, it worked. And then I hooked up the third farm back to the main power source. And after doing a little checking up on things, I realized that there was a big backup in all the systems where I had multiple items to pull through the buffer. So I had to set up this little thing with ultimate logistical transport pipes. So then it could pull out 5 times as many items as it could originally. And this seemed to work pretty well.
So I want to enchant my gear so I can have stronger swords so I can fight the wither and begin growing stars and make a generator or another star generator. Yeah, apothic. Is it apothic? All right, this will be a little bit complicated. So decrepitude 3. I'm going to go grab some XP up here while I look at all of this. So we need to find apothic enchanting. Apothic spawners, apothic enchanting. Okay, here we go. Shouldn't that unlock it? Yep, there we go. There's some more bookshelves. I'll just collect all up here. And now, shoot off to Arcana, Hell Shells, negative enchantment removals. That's interesting. We need Dragon's Breath. Holy. Let's look at the seashells. Seashells. So we need a pufferfish, which we actually have. Okay. Prismarine. Doubt, yeah, I was gonna say I doubt we have enough of that. We make Prismarine. Prismarine essence. I'm pretty sure we have Prismarine essence. Essence, Prismarine. There we go. Got a bunch of that. We should 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the bookshelf. Now, let's look at the quest line. Does that just give us another? Okay. Now we keep going up. Quanta. Quanta would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nether bricks. Then a regen. So we would need a gas tier and awkward potions. There we go. Throwing that, throwing that. Do we have gas tier? We have 1 gas tier, okay. Got our potions of regen here. Throw that in there. We got Hell Shelf. So what we get for the quests? Angel Stick. Is this negative amounts? Okay. A melon shelf. I'm so lost. So we need 11 hell shelves.
And if I was going to be making hell shelves, I would need my nether essence.
Might be this one over here. That nether essence. Yep, we'll take all of this. Hell shelf. So if we throw some in now, we can get... Okay. I see. We'll throw in a few of these. What now on our sword? Decrepitude 4 still. So then if I mine these 3. Plague Bringer. So I honestly like the Decrepitude more. So can I take these away and put the bookshelves back? Change it back to Decrepitude. So Decrepitude 4. I think I could rock with Decrepitude 4. We just need some lapis. Now what do we get? Another Decrepitude 4. It's great.
It wouldn't let me combine swords unless I named it for some reason. So obviously I named it
Slayer of Worlds. Protection 4. Can we put that on the armor? Sure can. We'll put Blessing on there as well.
But I basically just sat here and started ramping up my gear and combining stuff through an anvil. And this was my final sword.
Frostbite 6, Decrepitude 5, Sharpness 6. And we're losing anything crazy? Nope. We're approaching the 84-day mark here. Bang. Bang. So it now has 40 attack damage.
I also upgraded my boots and helmet a little bit.
Vibranium leggings. I feel like we should be able to fight the wither here. This will be scary. I do want to smack the wither with one of these. So whenever we kill it, we can put it in here and then we can make wither stars through the simulation chamber. But that will require a lot of power. So we'll need a lot of nether stars to power a nether generator first. So we get some soul sand. Wither. Don't have any skulls. I'm pretty sure they're all up here. Wither skills. What does that give me? Anything cool? Just another 3 wither skulls. It's great. Should be able to kill them relatively fast. How much damage we do. Can we possibly... What do we need? Yellow hearts? Do we have any yellow hearts? We have 1 yellow heart. Let's see what it costs to make a canister here. A red heart canister, a jewel apple. Let's make one of those. What does it cost? So we can make 1. That should throw us up to the new level of hearts. So now we have a yellow heart. It's great. Alright, hopefully it doesn't do too much damage. And then we're gonna go do this in the mining dimension. We do it kind of far away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the wither. Okay. Locking in. We'll eat this apple. We have to right click it with this. So we got it. We throw it in there. Now whenever we kill it. Oh yeah, this will be light work. Okay. And we get yellow hearts from that. Nice. Okay, that really wasn't that hard. So let's see. We gotta kill 5 of these anyway. Dang, I can't believe I was so scared of this boss.
I then went on to kill the wither 6 more times, so I could get the deep learner up and running.
So now we have the basic model. So let's look at the simulation chamber. So now if we feed this thing power, it should be usable. Guess we should probably run power from under. Grab this cord, run it through here.
Then I hooked up the cables from underneath.
Now, let's see here. Is it running a simulation chamber?
I didn't realize it at the time, but I would have to put in these prediction matrix so I could actually run it.
I have no iron. Is our system down? It is because I connected this. Okay, so we'll take this out. Let's see, does the power run down? No. So that was just eating up all the power.
After unhooking everything for a little bit, I got my power back so I could actually craft things again. So after bopping some unwanted visitors...
So we made some of these a long time ago. And this eats up power like crazy. As this gets used, this will go up and we'll get a more accurate prediction. While that's happening, we'll make another star generator.
This generator would prove to be more hard to craft than what it actually seems like it was. It would force me to go through the tiers, so I would have to go from copper all the way up to netherite. And that's where our farms come in handy.
Then how do we make it nether star?
So I crafted all the way up to a netherite generator.
Bang, bang, bang. Netherite. Then how do we make it nether star? Oh, we just need a netherite generator with wither skulls. Bang, there we go. There's our generator. Guess we should throw our generator down right there.
So I dug out a small portion of the floor.
And then we'll hook it up.
And after burning my first nether star, I realized this nether generator really didn't do much. I went and looked at my buffers and I realized that I would probably have to make it 64 times for it to be worth anything. So I would have to make that generator literally 64 times. But first, I would need fuel, so I looked into making a nether star seed first.
Nether star seed. Let's see what it takes. So we can make these. Okay, so we can honestly make this now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll need a prosperity seed. And then bang, we have our nether star seed.
I also needed a nether star crux so I could actually grow the seed under the infernium. So I crafted it up, it wasn't that cheap. I came up to my farm and placed it under the insanium farmland, and then my nether stars were growing.
We have them down here.
So this is the baby generator right now. Okay, we're gonna take a pause on that and use these 6 hearts to make the heart canisters. So heart canister.
So we need 6 of these. Then we can make 6 of these. What do we need? Golden apples. 5. We can make the canisters. There we go. So now we should have more hearts.
There we go. We got 2.7 rows of hearts now. I then began looking into how to craft the dimensional card so I could access my ME system from any dimension.
Because now we have nether stars and we'll have 4 of these. So we just need to make 4 of these. To make those, we need wireless boosters. Let's see here. Well, that makes 1. We got 2.
And after doing a lot of crafting, I finally had enough to make the cart. And it really wasn't that bad to craft, I just had to make a bunch of dust with the hammers, and it was kind of annoying. I then found an item that would make the farms even more efficient. Going to look into making some crop plots, and I think these are supposed to help make these go faster. So after filling up all my farms with crop plots, I came over to look at my nether star drawer and seeing that I had a bunch of nether stars ready to be crafted. And since I had an unlimited source of nether stars now, I decided I was going to finally make the flight augment on my supremium chest piece. We can put it in the tinker table. Bang, we have flight. And since I could fly, I decided to go fight the warden a few more times to get some more blue hearts. As I was flying around, I found a few chests and I found these night vision goggles. So I immediately threw those on and then I could see in the darkness, which made it way easier to find the skulk sensors. I was just hopping around waiting on my buddy to show up. I was still scared on how much damage he could do because I heard he got buffed in all the mods 10, so I took my distance and shot him with some arrows. I got that blue heart. But I later figured out he really didn't do that much damage, and so I decided to just melee him a bunch. And again, and again, and a lot more times. I killed 16 wardens and needed to smelt down the blue hearts so I could make green and yellow to finish the rest of my heart canisters. And I degrafted the blue down to green and then the green down to yellow. I would then surround a red heart with whatever color that I needed the heart of and repeat this process over and over until I had the max amount of canisters. Now we need the golden apple. Got 3. There we go. Now we have 3 hearts. Now we need green hearts. To make green hearts, we get a bunch of these and melt them down. We need 9 times 10. Wait, no, 8. And after doing some nuclear reactor physics, I finally got the answer. Okay, now should be able to go bang, bang. We get 10 green hearts. I looked into what else I needed. I needed a shulker shell. So you know what that meant. Needed to go to the end. I crafted up some IO ender and I was ready to set sail. It changed direction. We're upon the stronghold. Where is it? It's straight down. And after narrowing in on the location, I started my descent on down. It actually led me to the main center room. After walking around and finding some weird structures, I dug into some lava and it led me straight to the end portal. So I threw in all the eyes of Ender and a waystone, and I hopped right in. I made my way over to the Ender Dragon, but I wasn't that scared it could piece me up because the warden was so much easier. So I got to work on bopping the end crystals. After making light work of those, I started piecing up the Ender Dragon, which based on my first shot, I knew it wouldn't be much of a fight. I decided to collect some dragon breath too, because I remembered I needed it for some of the enchanting tables. And I also almost forgot that I needed to get the Ender Dragon prediction, so I had to right click it with that thing. So now I could grow Endermen in a simulation chamber. And after some elite aim, I got him. After snagging up all the loot, I realized I needed to kill 2 to get the prediction that I needed. But I figured that was for another time. I did the old torch trick with the egg, and I was ready to head and get some shulker shells. And don't worry, I didn't forget about the nature's compass. I could just type in End City and find one with this. And I was actually only 500 blocks away. I did a little adventuring and I finally stumbled upon a End City. But this wasn't like one of those normal End Cities. Little did I know. So I threw down a waystone and I started farming up the shulkers. And the loot in these chests weren't actually that bad if I didn't just upgrade all my armor. So I went ahead and got the shulker data model so I didn't have to farm them anymore in the future and come back here. I kept exploring and just looking in different items, and then I turned the corner and seen this big fella. He didn't look or seem very friendly, so I started shooting him. So I came in from the other side just in case I needed to run, and he gave me slow damage and hit me without even touching me, so I got kind of scared. But I kept my distance and just kept pelting him with decrepitude arrows, which didn't seem to actually decrepitude him, but oh well. And after like 5 minutes of hitting with arrows, I went in and hit him with my sword and realized he had 3,000 health and did a row and a half of hearts. So after about 15 minutes of shooting him with arrows, he finally fell. And I got this weird void core thing that does his attack. I thought that was pretty cool. So after exploring some more and finding a dragon head, I decided it was time to head back home. And upon arrival, I forgot the whole reason kind of why I went to the end. So I got to work on the 64 times nether generator, which, let me remind you, took 64 of each furnace. Generator. And out of all things, gold decided to be my bottleneck, and I could only make 51 for now. I decided to go ahead and get the diamonds started since I needed to wait on the gold to be done growing anyway. But then I realized I had that digital miner. So I snagged up an energy cell and slapped down my digital miner with the energy cube, of course. I threw in my gold filters and I clicked start, and it said it could mine 1,600 pieces of gold. It was running a little slow, so I threw in some speed and energy upgrades to make it go a little bit faster. I kept running out of power over in the mining dimension, so I figured why not just set up the digital miner right at my base. After getting enough gold, I could finally get the 64 needed, and then I could convert it into a diamond furnace. I may have overestimated how many diamonds I actually had, because I could only make 25, so I kind of got tired of it and decided to go on to design the base a little bit better. I started by getting rid of the torches around and putting in some glowstone lanterns. I was kind of just going with the flow and trying to make the glowstone look cool. I ended up making a circle around the waystone. Look how pretty. I was running out of glowstone, so I went up to my amazing farm and snagged some more glowstone essence. I didn't quite know what I wanted for the outer layer, but I elected to get this smooth glowstone. And I placed some down, and after I took a step back and looked at it, I thought it looked pretty good. So I started to slap it down everywhere. And after placing the last few blocks, I was finished. And since I was on a kick to get rid of all my torches, I found this purple Luminix block that emitted light for some reason, and I can make slabs out of it. And since it was already purple up here, I decided to make some slabs around the altar. And then after placing them down and seeing that they kind of fit in pretty well, I decided I was going to surround the rest of the altar with them. Man, just cue the building montage. I completed my little balcony and staircase, and I thought it looked quite nice. And since my energy cubes were probably full, I decided to head to the mining dimension so I could get my digital miner to mine some diamonds for me, so I could start working on that nether star generator. So satisfying. After getting those all crafted up, I needed to move on to the netherite generator. And that was honestly one of the easier ones because I literally grow it. So I threw them in the smithing table and got my netherite generators. So all that was left was to get some wither skulls, which my amazing farm was crafting up. And after crafting all those wither skulls, I only got 26 netherite generators. So I figured this would probably take some time, but then I realized we actually just grow them. So I went and found my handy dandy wither essence, crafted some blank skulls, and then in the middle of all that I realized I needed a conduit and I needed fish essence to actually craft all of this. So I was off to kill some fishies so I could get my soul jars filled up so I could make the seed. And after an hour of bopping fish, I finally had enough. So I threw my soul jars down and got to making that fish seed. So I crafted up my goodies and got the conduit and made my beautiful 64 times nether star generator. So I threw that one down where the old one was, and my power problems was never to be seen again, as long as I had nether stars. I went up to snag all my nether stars that's been accumulating, and I could make 54, so I threw those straight into the furnace to see how much power it would generate me. And it was indeed filling up my cubes like crazy. And that meant I could finally run my simulation chamber with the wither. And the way this works is the 0.06, I would have to use it a certain number of times to get that all the way up to 100%. And then every single time it would run, it would get a nether star. So I attached the pipe so it would be automated a little bit. I also set up one of those drawers because it kept making a byproduct of the prediction. And this way it wouldn't clog up the system anymore. And now all I could do was wait. And that pretty much sums it up. 100 days ago, this world really didn't offer much. But as I progressed through the mods, it made things easier. I pretty much achieved what I wanted to accomplish with the mystical agriculture farms, nether star generators, and mainly just not dying in hardcore. I hope you enjoyed my first 100 days video, and there will be more to come. And if you made it this far, let me know how I did in the comments, and maybe even subscribe. And thank you for watching.